Hello, everyone. Welcome to King Po Myers, and welcome to our brand new segment. This is KPM True Crime. Here we have with us our special guest, Sammy, not Sam. Sammy, don't get mixed
I'm
up.
different, I promise.
Sammy from Studio Sticks. How are you, Sammy?
I'm good. I got some tasty stories for you.
I'm very excited. So, as you all should know, you should. Sam, we talk about paranormal stuff and all that fun stuff, but in this special segment, we're going to be talking about real stuff, nitty gritty stuff. Well, I shouldn't say real. Oh, sorry, Sam. I love paranormal and I believe in paranormal, but this is true crime. This is about people getting axed. This is all those nitty gritty details, incompetent police and investigators, scummy lawyers, corrupt judges, bloody scenes. I'm excited, Sammy.
Yeah, me too. And bad people. There's lots of bad people. There's in this story today, there's some messed up people.
I cannot wait to learn about these people. Now, for the audience, just so you know, I don't know anything that Sammy is about to tell me.
Yeah.
She picked out a bunch of cases and said, rank them 1 through 8. I don't know anything about them, Sammy. I don't care. Just rank them 1 through 8, and I will tell you a story. So this is all my personal reaction. I do not research things ahead of time, and we're just gonna be sitting back, listening to some true crime.
Yeah. This is your complete first time hearing any of these stories because I specifically told you, I'm like, don't look at my notes. Like I wrote them, but don't look at them. I promise they're not for you, they're for me.
I love this. Sammy, episode 1, what do you got for us?
All right. So episode 1, we got the case of Wallace Souza, otherwise known as the man who he was a TV producer. He was a TV host for Canal Livre in Brazil.
Oh, okay.
So Wallace Souza was a Brazilian TV presenter and a politician, which that sounds familiar, doesn't it? Yeah. He was born in the state of Amazonas in the city of Manaus, a city on the banks of the Black River in Brazil. He initially was a police officer from like 1979 to 1987, but he was fired after pension fraud and pension theft. So it doesn't have a really good track record to start off with.
Good God. All right.
Yeah. So 3 years after he was fired in 1989, he began to host a TV program in Brazil named Canal Livre, which translates to free, which the free part of that can mean either like free as in freedom or free as in like actually free, like monetary. It means free channel. It was a variety show that included music, interviews, comedy sketches, all that stuff. But it was also a news program about crime. And their slogan was investigative journalism aimed at fighting crime and social injustice.
While making people laugh.
Yeah, it was okay. It's hard to explain because I had to talk to my boyfriend about this. My boyfriend is like his whole family is from Brazil. They're from Sao Paulo. They're from Rio, and I had to ask him about this. These shows are really common in Brazil, apparently.
Interesting.
Which I'm gonna get to really quick. It was so popular that it helped Wallace Souza get elected to political office 3 separate times in 98, 2000, and 2002.
Wow.
So he just like his show was so popular that it gave him political power, essentially. He was so popular that he got elected.
Once again.
Little scary.
Current offense.
Yeah. It's a little too close to home.
Wow.
Yeah. So there was a character on like the comedy sketch portion. There's a character named Gil who is a stage entertainer and Arabic pie salesman who made the show even more popular and boosted Souza's political career. As part of a regular skit, this stage entertainer, I like to think of him like he was like a clown, but he suffered constant bullying and was called gay slurs on the show, leading him to fight with a puppet named Gallerito, who was the one hurling the insults at him. So there's a clown fighting a puppet as a usual sketch on this show. And this is completely normal.
All right.
This is normal. I wish I was kidding. I so wish I was kidding, because I cannot imagine this being like appealing to the public. But as a side note, when I pressed my boyfriend a little bit further on this, I guess shows and puppets like this are really common in Brazil. I guess back in the day, there were more than a few shows with this kind of theming. And there's this particular show that is currently on the air, like actually like as of today, with a parrot puppet that's called Mais Você, which is and also you. And the parrot hangs out with the host, and people are like really sensitive about this puppet. Like they will defend this puppet forever. The puppeteer for this puppet died in November of 2020, and people lost their shit. Like they collectively lost their shit. Like they like started rioting and shit. Like they are so sensitive about this parrot puppet. I don't know why. I don't understand the humor. I guess it has to be cultural.
Has the puppet been recast? I mean, that's
yeah, it's been recast since, and that's I think why people were pissed. I believe it was, at least, but yeah, they're really sensitive about this puppet thing. It's a very common thing, and I don't understand the humor behind it. It's kind of like the humor that I don't understand behind it is like because they also do this in Brazil, where in like, you know, like not dramas, but like in slice of life, like TV shows, like if you were to do like 3.5 Men, how like normally we have a laugh track.
Yeah.
They, for when something is supposed to be funny, they do sound effects in the back. So they do like boing and like stuff like that in the back, like when things are supposed to be funny. And like, it doesn't make sense to me. And I don't know if that's like a Western idea of thinking that it just doesn't make sense, but I don't know. Puppets and sound effects. So
all right.
That's Brazil. So aside from the puppet, there was totally, let's toss aside the puppet. Let's just ignore that fact. We're not talking about the puppet. We're not here for the puppet. That's not what we're here for. We're here for murder. So aside from the puppet, there was a crime element to the show, which was basically the main part of the show.
Mm-hmm.
They would send camera crews out to the crime scenes, specifically murder scenes, to collect graphic footage and information before the police got there. Like they would air dead bodies and shit.
Really? That's allowed on their television?
Apparently. That's from what I have read, they would show like really, really graphic imagery. I mean, it's like, I wish I have an example later on, but I'll let you know.
Okay.
But Wallace Souza, the host of this show, would broadcast the exclusive coverage of these crimes following the action in live time. So one of the examples consists of a reporter walking through a forest to examine a burning corpse. And he told viewers, "It smells like a barbecue. It is a man. It has the smell of burning meat. The impression is that it was in the early hours and that it was an execution."
Wait, a burning man?
Yes. Like not Burning Man, but a burning man.
Yes. Classic Burning Man. So, and this was just on live television.
Yeah.
They had a reporter. Burning.
Yeah, they brought a reporter and a camera crew out to a friggin' forest to film a man who is just burning on fire in the middle of a forest. So, the show also going right past that. The show also aired police raids and arrests, kind of like cops, like, you know, how like people would go on arrests. And with the show following their own helicopters to capture it. So basically you would have a police arrest, and then you have like their own helicopter of their camera crew following the police action so that they could get exclusive footage.
Wow.
Yeah. So in 2009, after 20 years on air, the police started to get suspicious. Several former employees, they basically started wondering how the crews knew where to go to get this coverage before the police did. Because how would you know where to go? Like, it would make me think of like that they're like checking on police scanners and stuff like that. But like, they're way too quick to be on police scanners.
Uh-huh.
So
well, yeah, I mean, and it took them 20 years to be like, hey, you guys keep beating us here.
Yeah, I don't want to say anything poorly about Brazil, but they're not I wouldn't say they're the safest. My boyfriend does not want to bring me there because of the crime rate. So they're not, I wouldn't say they're the safest, but, and there's a lot of political corruption that goes on over there. So it reminds me of like just a free for all, honestly. Yeah. But they found out that it was Wallace Souza orchestrating these murders in order to boost his ratings. Yeah.
Say that again, please.
They found out that Wallace Souza, the host of the show, was orchestrating these murders in order to boost his ratings.
Was he killing these people, or was he having them killed?
He's on air. He's presenting this live. So how could he kill them? He was basically hiring people. Yeah. So several former employees had tipped off police, and when police searched Wallace Souza's house, oh boy, let me tell you what they found. They found weapons, ammunition, and cash, and was subsequently charged with murder, drug trafficking, intimidation of witnesses, illegal carrying of arms, and formation of a criminal gang. So basically, he was hiring hitmen to go kill these people in the middle of forests so that he could get the story exclusively and he would know where to go.
And he did this for 20 years.
I don't know if I don't know if he did it for all 20 years. I don't know if suddenly crime dried up after a certain point and then he started doing this. Mm-hmm. But his political career began in 1998, which, funny enough, was like almost 10 years after he was fired for pension fraud. So the track record going in isn't good. They knew who they were electing. But basically, I want to say that he maybe started this like at the beginning of his political career, just to kind of get more spicy stuff on TV, you know? I don't know. So that would have been maybe 10 years. So the show was on air for 20, and he started his political career in 98. So that would have been around 10, 12.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's crazy. In October 2009, he was accused of hiring hitmen to kill 5 people to increase the ratings. However, he couldn't be arrested because he was a state congressman and he had political immunity.
What?
Yeah, he had political immunity and was literally like, he was a political figure with political immunity, so they could not arrest him with any of those charges that he was charged with. Murder, drug trafficking, intimidation of witnesses, illegal carrying of arms, and formation of a criminal gang. So, your face right now is hilarious. Right?
What happened next?
Okay, so after they investigated, the charges were so severe that the state decided to do something that like they never do. It's super rare for them to do this. And they broke immunity to expel him from the state assembly. So they basically fired him from the state assembly, even though he was voted in by the general public. They took him out of office because of these charges, because everything that he did was so severe. So police basically were thinking like, okay, the show didn't have enough material to work with. So basically what they did was Wallace Souza and his son, got his son in on this, hired hitmen to execute someone and then alert the camera crew as to where the execution had taken place so that they could get there before the police did for exclusive coverage.
No one in any of these goddamn camera crews ever thought, hey, where is our boss man getting this secret intel?
Well, I think they did. I think some of them did at least, because they're the ones that ratted him out, because they were kind of like, hey, this is a little sus. Like, maybe you guys should look into this. I've been thinking about it for a while. Maybe we should, like, maybe. So,
and they're thinking about this as there's a burning man behind them. Like, I
don't know. I mean, like, it could be like really good intel. It could be like directly from the crime organization itself. He could have an in with the police or something
20
like
years.
that.
We're always the first ones. This is
Especially like it makes it, I think personally that it would make sense if since he was a political figure, that I think people just kind of righted it in their minds that they're like, oh, this guy's a political figure. He has ins with the police. So he must be getting this exclusive coverage because he is a political leader. Which that's the kind of hoops my brain would jump through. But I don't know how you would, I don't know. For 10 years, I don't know how you would try to right those wrongs. I would be questioning everything at that point.
So they implement some special law that allows them to fire him. Does that mean, so then their district attorney equivalent brought charges against him?
It was actually, so I don't know how law works in Brazil. It's a little fucked up, actually.
It's okay. You don't know Brazilian law.
I don't know Brazilian law. So from my understanding is that the state police like wanted to charge him with all of these charges. And basically they talked to like the court that he was on, the political court he was on, the state assembly. And they were like, hey, this guy's done some fucked up shit. Like, but we can't arrest him because he has political immunity. Here's all our evidence. And they're like, oh shit, you're right. And they just kind of like, they're like, sorry, buddy, you got to go. I can't help you here. So, I guess that I wouldn't say that the state assembly itself like brought charges against him. I think it was just literally just the state police.
Okay.
So, interestingly enough, he was executing competing drug traffickers to get rid of the competition while also boosting his ratings on the show.
This guy is just...
I mean, so they weren't like innocent people. I'm sure these guys who were drug traffickers like also killed people. But that two wrongs don't make a right, bud. Like, you know?
You're a drug dealer, so you're going after your enemies. You're killing them and sending a message to other gangs and their gang on national television with their bodies
just burning.
Yeah. You are a host of the show with all of this happening. Your ratings are going through the roof. You're probably getting a big fat contract. The people love it so much that they elect you to office. And even when you're in office, you're like, you know what? Gotta get these ratings up.
Yeah, you know what? I think I need to fuck shit up. Yeah. That's exactly what he said to himself. I need to fuck shit up. That's basically it.
What? Wow.
Yeah, I know. Like, as if you couldn't be more greedy. So after an arrest warrant was ordered, Of course he ran. So then there was a manhunt with over 60 federal and civil police officers trying to find this guy. While this manhunt was happening, his son was put in jail over charges of homicide, drug trafficking, and illegal gun possession. So his son's in jail. They already got his son. They just need the other half. And they set up road barricades in order to prevent him from leaving Manau. But he ended up giving himself up to police after 3 days, which is kind of sad that you're just sitting out for 3 days being like, all right, how am I going to get past this? How am I going to get past this roadblock? How am I going to get past these guys? It only took you 3 days and you're like, I give up. So 3 days later on October 9th, he gave himself up to police, but he still proclaimed his innocence. He said that the allegations were absurd and that he and his son were being set up by political enemies and drug dealers that couldn't handle his years of relentless crime coverage on TV.
Oh, that is a bold defense, sir.
Yeah. I mean, to like basically be like, it's the Republicans. Like, you know what I mean? Just to like, I'm being charged with murder. And they're like, he's like, no, it's the Republicans. Like, you know what I mean?
What the fuck?
Basically, he claimed that he was the one fighting against organized crime, political corruption, drug trafficking, and pedophilia. Where the pedophilia thing came in, don't even know. Okay. It was just casually tossed in there. He's just like, pedophiles, hate them. Put that in there. That's my statement. So, however, his own bodyguard, who had been accused of like 9 murders in the past, testified against him. And that didn't look good. So it's not a good look for you, buddy. And he had a brother who was the vice mayor. The vice mayor. His name was Carlos Souza. He requested that when his brother Wallace was sent to prison, that he would have his own cell and be separated from fellow inmates for his own safety. Because he was worried that the other people in the jail would have been people that were jailed because of his show. And they totally would know because he was very famous.
Yeah.
TV producer. The producer of the show, the former producer of the show, Vanessa Lima, she was also arrested in December 2009 for being complicit with all of this. So there's that fun fact. And it's so messed up because this guy, like, he never... All right. I'm just going to end the story here because in July of 2010, just 9 months after his initial arrest, while awaiting trial, he died of Budd-Chiari syndrome, which he had chronic liver disease that he had had his entire life, which in turn caused death of a heart attack. And he was 51 years old. So he was never brought to trial. And he never was able to be convicted, which sucks.
I mean, it does suck that he didn't get, destroyed by the media and, having, I'm sure he would have loved a primetime slot, like where his trial would have probably been broadcasted, knowing this sick fuck. But I mean,
yeah, I mean, 100% he would have loved that because at this point, all of his, again, Brazil is pretty politically corrupt. So a lot of his political constituents and everyone who was like kind of around him, they were all getting airtime for other shitty things that they were doing. So I'm sure he would have loved to get that airtime in order to proclaim his innocence in order to get another term.
I mean, the evidence obviously very heavy against him.
I mean, when you find drugs in your house with firearms, I think that's kind of a done deal, that not only are you drug trafficking, but you also maybe hurt somebody.
I mean, at least, I mean, if you can put maybe a positive spin on it, kind of. Um, there was never a chance for his corrupt buddies to maybe get him off on some charges and then just kind of like, smack the wrist and be like,
Yeah.
we're gonna have to pull your time slot
Yeah.
and some
Yeah.
bureaucratic bullshit happen.
Yeah. Anyway, when he died, the show went off the air. So I mean, it's not it you can't see it anymore. I'm sure there's episodes online that you can find. They're very bizarre. And you would have to translate them from Portuguese. But like one of the articles, it was very interesting. One of the articles I had to have my boyfriend read to me because um he's because he speaks Portuguese, but I was not understanding because I had read somewhere that the brother had asked him to be in solitary,
Mm-hmm.
which is completely different than a separate cell. But I can see where those two words would get mixed up. So I was like, was it really solitary, or was he just in like away from the general prison population? So he reread it to me and he's like, no, it was just a singular cell. Yeah. It would be funny if he wasn't solitary, though, for 9 months. That would be funny.
Wow.
And that's the story of Wallace Souza.
That is unbelievable.
Yeah, there's actually I believe it was like I want to say it was like made for Netflix or something. Is a made for Netflix movie or special or something called Killer Ratings that goes over this entire case. So if you want to like look more into it, I'm sure that has more information as well.
Killer Ratings.
Yeah, I know. God, I love some of these names. It's so good.
Oh my God. I that is just so, it's so bizarre.
Yeah, Brazil's bizarre. I hate to say it, but Brazil is bizarre.
I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And his son was obviously convicted, no?
Um, that's a
You
good
would
question.
hope.
That's not something that I actually looked up. Let me check that really quick.
I mean,
I
and
think he
also
might still be in jail. His name is Rafael Souza, and I don't.
starting a new show on Netflix.
If only. There's so many Rafael Souzas. Show me the one that killed people, please.
And the fact that he got his family involved in it, and dude.
Yeah. I'm curious what happened to his brother or his son. I don't see anything regarding his son because I don't know if he was actually in on it. I think they just like got him due to like conspiracy, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But he's currently in prison. I
Ah,
take that back. He is currently in prison facing the charges of homicide, drug trafficking, and illegal gun possession. There has been no update to my knowledge on his case, but whether or not he actually killed people for his father, that's to be seen. So,
has he been awaiting trial for 10 years?
I don't know, man. I mean, that's the last update on his Wikipedia page, but I can't find any other information on the son. So if anybody out there like happens to know any kind of update on him, please let me know because I'm really genuinely curious onto what happened to him, if he was acquitted or what happened. Cause I mean, I feel like, I don't know, like, what would you do if your father asked you, hey, buddy, I got a little job for you. Like,
come here, champ.
like, what would you do? What do you say to that?
What? I don't know. Fucking kid. Hi guys, sorry about that little technical issue, but we are back. Um, Sammy, you were saying what I would do?
Yeah, what would you do if your dad just like came up to you and was like, "Hey, buddy, hey, son, I got a job for you." Like, would you take that? Like, it makes me wonder if he actually did kill for his dad, because I don't know if I would accept that. I mean, if there was like a threat, probably, maybe, I don't know, but like, I wouldn't kill for my dad.
Yeah, no, I would not either. No, and especially you're already a successful drug dealer. You're a successful talk show host. You're a
Yeah.
successful politician. All of Brazil seems to really dig your content.
Yeah.
I,
Why fuck it up?
I mean, yeah, maybe you won't have as many grisly murders, but I think the ratings would still hold.
Yeah. I mean, again, Mais Você is still on the air. I mean, it's been on air for a very long time and it is still on the air today. So clearly these shows work.
Yeah, I just can't help but think like this guy was like, this is like sociopathic behavior. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, it makes me wonder like what goes through people's heads when they do this kind of thing, or when they even like when the idea even pops in their head.
yeah,
Because it's like you could ask this question to literally any killer that we cover.
hmm,
What went through your head? Why would you fuck up this life that you had set up for yourself? Everything seemed to be going okay.
yeah,
Why would you fuck it up in this way? My only answer is that they thought they wouldn't get caught.
yeah.
Guarantee you, I thought they wouldn't get caught.
And with the whole, diplomatic immunity thing.
Yeah. Oh my God. He thought he was going to get away with it, even if they did find out. I just, I got nothing. I got nothing. But yeah, that's the story of Wallace Souza. And
Wallace Souza, everyone.
yeah. And if you want to find out more about him, go watch, I think it's on Netflix. I'm pretty sure it's either on Netflix or Hulu. It's a special called Killer Ratings.
Best name
So
ever.
best name ever. So it's supposed to be really good. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm very tempted to with my boyfriend's family, because my boyfriend's mom actually lived through this whole trial. So
God.
yeah.
And do we know the status of the parrot? I mean, is he back
Oh,
on
the
TV?
parrot. The parrot. Let me look at Mais Você.
Because I think that's what we all really care about right now is just
We
how.
need to know. Let me check. Brazil.
I'm now morbidly curious to watch some of his TV shows and just I want to see this humor. I want to.
It's oh my God, it's so funny because there is no Wikipedia article from Mais Você, but there is a Wikipedia article for the fucking parrot. His name is Lauro Jose. And oh, where is it? Where is it? 2020. Okay, so unfortunately the guy who puppeteered him died November 1st, 2020 at the age of 47. He died of a brain aneurysm and a stroke. But do they currently have somebody that is playing him? This parrot is on like food and like merchandise in Brazil. That's how popular this parrot is. They sell kids' toys and shit, and like his face is on gum. It's a very specific parrot. They have his birth story. Uh,
And is this parrot part of like the same type of show that Souza had?
it's a type of show like that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of I don't know how to describe it. Oh, I take it back. Okay, I take it back. There is something called there is a article for Mais Você, but it's under Rede Globo, which is or simply Globo, which is basically a free channel. I guess it is a free channel show, much like Canal Livre was.
I think that's actually amazing poetic justice, because you have this sick fuck committing these horrible, horrible crimes.
Yeah.
And he's on the air for all this time. And the minute they catch his ass and they pull the plug on his show, he's replaced by a parrot, a stuffed parrot. And it's like, all right, we're moving on from you, Wallace Souza. Look at this bird. Look how majestic.
Yeah. And actually, and it's interesting too, because actually, if you look, this story is not about the parrot, but we're going into this parrot anyway. This parrot on Mais Você, it is a green parrot. And I don't know have you ever seen The Three Caballeros from Disney? It's Donald. Maybe. It was a gift from South America to the US, basically. And it was like Donald Duck has two cousins, in like one in Brazil and one in Mexico. Mm-hmm. The one in Mexico's name is Panchito Pistoles, and the one from Brazil is Jose Carioca. And Jose Carioca was a parrot with like a little top hat, and he had like a little cane. I freaking love him. I have a Three Caballeros backpack upstairs that I'm waiting for Disneyland to open back up so that I could go Disney bounding as Jose, because that would be really fun.
Nice.
But I guess Disney tried to sue them because they claimed that the likeness to Jose Carioca from the parrot puppet was too similar.
My God.
Yeah, which is really, really funny, because I did not know that. Whatchamacallit? Disney. Yeah, they attempted to trademark the parrot's brand, saying that the puppet was plagiarism. They were unsuccessful. Disney did not end up getting the copyright to it. So the little parrot they got their wish and they kept the trademark. So I don't think they've replaced the puppeteer yet. I think his death was so sudden and so recent that I don't think they've replaced him yet, which I'm sure if they replace him, there will be war. So, I mean, this guy was so beloved. He was originally only in the role like momentarily for he wasn't supposed to be in the role forever. He was supposed to be there temporarily. But people liked it so much that he just stayed on. He was 23 when he first started playing the puppet. And he was 47 when he passed away. So that's really, really friggin' young. It was really sad, but I'm sure if they ever do replace this puppeteer, that people will not be happy.
I love how it's Disney versus Brazilian public broadcasting.
Yeah. Yeah. The free channel in Brazil. So like not even PBS here. Like it's just like it's like local channels, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So even though, oh Jesus, wow, Disney, really?
Yeah, it's like local channels, but like it's I believe this is statewide for Rede Globo. I think this is, I don't know. It's available national and worldwide. It's for the entire country of Brazil. So it's the free channel for the entire country of Brazil, not necessarily just in like one region, you know? Okay. So it's a little more on a bigger scale than like public access channels that we have. But it's still a free channel, dude. You're really gonna get mad at that? I get it's popular. I get he's like literally all over Brazil. But at the same time, it's like, Disney, you have enough money. Please calm down.
And next week on KPM True Crime, we talk about the puppeteer's life and his meaning to just the Brazilian people.
Oh man, I wish that's what was next week, dude. I've got a just messed up story for next week.
Can you at least give me the case name?
If I give you the case name, it'll give it away.
Gives it away. Okay,
it totally gives it away.
Then we're not going near it. Then we will definitely wait till next week. So anything
I could give you about the case, it's about 12-year-olds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everyone involved in this case is 12.
The police commissioner, the DA.
No, not the DA. Anyone who was like criminally involved in this case is 12.
Okay. Yeah. Nice little cliffhanger. Thank you.
Yeah.
Anything else on Wallace Souza or the parrot that stole a nation's heart?
I got nothing for you other than go subscribe to KPM's Instagram and maybe go check them out on YouTube. You guys have a YouTube channel, right?
We do. Yes.
Yeah. I think you guys should post on there more. I think that would be cool.
Work in progress.
All right.
Work in progress.
All right.
Thank you so much for the tale of Wallace Souza, and that may be the most fucked up case I've ever heard. I mean,
I've got worse ones for you. I promise.
Oh my God.
It gets worse. I promise. The ones I have in store for you this season are not, they're not fun. They get worse than this. This is peanuts compared to what I have for you.
God. Oh, I can't even imagine. Definitely check out Killer Ratings on Netflix. I have not seen it, but I am now so intrigued to watch this documentary. Netflix always does a really great job with their true crime stuff.
Let me just double check that it is on Netflix and not Hulu.
It's gotta be Netflix.
It's gotta be Netflix, right?
I don't think...
Rating Netflix documentary series. Yep.
Netflix. They do good quality things.
Yeah.
Follow Sami, please, at Studio Sticks.
Yeah, well, that's okay. I'm gonna really have to crank out some shit for that account before this airs. But yeah.
Check her out at Studio Sticks.
Yeah.
For all listening, Sami created our insanely sexy logo. She created all of our art for our merch. So thank you again for all that you've done for KPM.
Of course. I love it. When I first heard you guys, I was so excited. As soon as I heard the podcast name, I was like, I need to draw this right now. And I cranked that shit out in 2 hours. So
I don't know how you artists do it. I mean, the fact it's so good. And the fact that you can just I wish that part of my brain worked.
Yeah, that's the only part of my brain that works, unfortunately. If you want to check out my art stuff, it's on a different app. It's at it's so embarrassing. It's Fiendish Goth. I love it. I love it. It's at Fiendish Goth on Instagram. So I've got all of my personal art and stuff on that there. But the Studio Sticks account is more for my little small business, my paper goods business that I'm trying to start. So nice.
Well, Sami, thank you so much for being with us. Tune in next week, guys, when we talk about a case involving 12-year-olds, and yeah. I'm already kind of creeped out by this, and I'm happy about that.
You should be.
That is all for us. Thank you, guys, and we will see you next week.
Bye.